The Heat, the best regular season record. Only two teams had a winning regular season against Miami, and Frank Vogel's Pacers, one of those teams.
I've been saying all along, this is going to be a series for the ages, right? It doesn't become a series for the ages unless the champs go down. Championship level togetherness, okay? Punch our ticket to the NBA Finals.
Well, Miami didn't shoot the ball very well in the first quarter. Lance Stevenson did, never tentative. That's not in his vocabulary. And then Stevenson finds David West, who's hoping to represent the East against the West in the NBA Finals. So the Pacers out to a bit of a hard start, and Eric Spoelstra says, come on, Big Three.
They're both big game guys, and the bright lights inspire them more than shrink them. This is why this team was put together. Moments like this.
Said that before the game and then said something like that during the timeout, probably a little more emphatically. Dwayne Wade spins on Stevenson, gets a lay on the paint. Wade had said, hey man, I got to get more touches. He did, shot the ball 16 times. Turnovers, big for the Pacers in the first quarter. James to Wade to Chalmers, but James putting it back up and in, and the Heat dominated the offensive boards in this game, something they had not done in the series. Wade, this is off the 8th turnover of the first quarter. Takes it away from Hibbert and then goes by Stevenson right there with the nifty move, and then Norris Cole off an Indiana air ball. Oh, air! LeBron James from Cole. Take another look, and look how high James gets. I mean, he can dent his forehead on the rim. He can pull a quarter off and make change. Oh, and look at our production team. That's why we're the worldwide leader. How about getting Bosch involved? He was 1 for 8 in the first quarter. Knocks down the three and says, man, I've done apologize to everybody how bad I played. I hit that. It's a 10-point lead. And then Wade to James. Textbook. James had 18 in the first half. The Big Three scored 35 of the 52 first half points. They're up 15 after a 33-point second quarter. Ray Allen, he hadn't been able to throw it in the ocean standing on the beach. 7 of 24 from distance in this series. That's his first one. Cole finds him for a second one. And then James, they talk about the basketball IQ. Sees him, knows he's hot. He hits another one. He hit 3 of his first 3. Been averaging about 7 points in games 1 through 6. He had 10 in the first half of game 7. We've showed you the Heat attacking Indiana offensively. The key to this game was how Miami attacked Indiana defensively. Hibbert, he wrote focused and I'm an animal on his shoes, and it was the Miami defense that was focused on Hibbert. Took him out of the game. Paul George, James, Eric Spoelstra put James on George instead of Wade. He couldn't do anything. 7 points, 2 of 9 shooting. David West in the corner, shot clock violation. 15 first half turnovers for Frank Vogel's club. Third quarter. James, wing, 3. Heat up by 15. And then James to Wade for the lay-in as Indiana goes 4+ minutes without a field goal to end the quarter. Missed their last 9 shots. Wade with 21, Heat up 21 after 3. The fourth quarter, the most exciting thing in the fourth quarter was that rapper Flo Rida, his manager got ejected while sitting courtside. James, 32 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. There's Flo Rida. There's your Big Three. Hibbert headed to the locker room. No hockey handshakes. 99-76 as Miami advances to its third straight NBA Finals. James, 32 points, 15 of 16 from the free throw line. The Big Three go 24 of 25 from the free throw line, 25 rebounds, 62 points, and James leads them with the 32.
Obviously, we're a much better team when we have everyone clicking at the same time. That's obvious. And we've had more games where everyone is clicking than not so. It just happened in this series. Guys are just not in the rhythm, not feeling like themselves. And, but hey, you save it to the last game, and it allows us to advance, and I'm okay with that.
I feel like we have individuals on our team that respond very well when adversity hits. So, I kind of like it a little bit. I kind of like the way that our team is when we get to those moments when our back is against the wall as individuals, because we got winners, we got champions in our locker room, and you don't become a champion by luck. Yeah, they taught us a lesson. And this team has been there before. They've been to the championship. They've won it all, and they know how to ratchet up their defense.
A lot of it was just us not taking care of the basketball. Us. First time for a lot of us to be in this situation, being in Game 7. We didn't know what to expect.
We have a lot of guys that emerge from those bright lights more rather than shrink from them, and that's something you can't teach.
Heard LeBron James say, "Hey man, I told Bosh and Wade I got to have you for Game 7, and he here we'll show you how he used him. Go Samsung next level." James had just 56 touches in Game 7, his lowest in a game this series, and that's actually a good thing because both Wade and Bosh got more touches and put out more production than they had in Game 6. Stephen A. Smith joins us from Miami, and Stephen A., what did you learn about the Miami Heat in this Game 7?
Well, I learned, number one, they can amp it up. Then number two, that they've got the heart of a champion. Number three, that when they attach a level of urgency to their play, they look every bit like the champions they're supposed to be. We know what LeBron can do. We know what Dwayne Wade can do when healthy and focused. We also know that Chris Bosh, despite shooting 3 of 13 from the field, can still have an impact. And when Ray Allen comes off the bench and drains perimeter shot, they are the team they are supposed to be. The question is whether or not they can do that on a consistent basis. But when they do it, they can beat anybody. That's what we've learned, which is basically what we already knew.
The Pacers are in a rearview mirror. What storyline most excites you in the Heat-Spurs final?
Well, it excites me in terms of the chess match that's going to exist. You're Greg Popovich, you've got Tony Parker and Tim Duncan at your disposal. Two individuals that could really exploit some of the Heat's weaknesses. If you're the Miami Heat, of course, you've got LeBron James, but you're wondering what Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh are going to be able to give you in terms of Dwayne Wade's health and Chris Bosh's consistency. Remember, the Chris Bosh that you saw during the Indiana Pacers series, expect him to be a lot better against the Spurs because he won't be getting beat up physically, having to battle with a 7'2" center that weighs about 30 pounds more than them. Obviously, both benches have to make their contributions, but in the end, it comes down to King James, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh, the big three, against Tim Duncan and Tony Parker. And Lord, dare I say, I can't believe I'm going to say this on national television, Tiago Splitter, and whether or not he's able to give you something on the low post to help out Tim Duncan in some facet. That happens. The Miami Heat can have a little bit of problems.
That's Stephen A. Smith in Miami, where the Heat advance to the NBA Finals for the third straight year. NBA Finals begin Thursday in